So, you want to know how to maintain your car. Well, it's a good thing you're watching this video because I'm about to explain how to change your oil, change your coolant, and most importantly, change your tyre. There are, however, some items you'll need before we can begin. To change oil, you'll need some new oil, either synthetic or semi-synthetic. You'll also need an oil pan, an oil filter, and a couple of car stands. These should cost you roughly $160. To change a tyre, you'll need a fully inflated tyre and some tools. The tyre and tools should come in the back of your boot. However, if you don't have any tools, this should cost you roughly $20. Finally, to change coolant, you'll just need some new coolant. This should cost you roughly $18. Right, before we can get started, we first need to open this hood. Simply flip this lever located on the driver's side door, and the bonnet should open with a click. Then you reach under, flip the latch, push the bonnet up, grab your stay hood, and put it in its intended location. And boom, your bonnet is now open. Now, what you're looking for in this car when replacing the oil are these two pieces here. The dipstick and the oil cap. The dipstick measures the amount of oil and you have in your oil tank. Well, the oil cap allows you to put more oil in and protects the oil from any foreign bodies. Of course, you have your coolant here and your wiper fluid here, as well as the brake fluid just hiding back down here. So your fluids are relatively close together. Okay, when changing the oil, you'll need to look at the oil levels. To do this, you'll need to locate the dipstick. Then you need to twist it anti-clockwise 180 degrees and pull it out. Next, you need to grab a lint-free cloth and wipe off all the excess oil. Next, put your dipstick back in. Lock it into place and pull it out once again. And by doing this, you should be able to read oil levels. Here you go. As you can see, this oil is at this notch here, which means that this car has enough oil to run. Most dipsticks will either have a notch or engravings that will also tell you if your car has enough oil. If the oil levels are not at that notch, then you may need to take it to an oil shop to check up if your car has any leaks. Now, when you're dealing with coolant, there are two things you need to be precautious of. First off is when you're checking the coolant levels, don't just unscrew the cap off, as doing so may allow some foreign bodies into your coolant system. First, check out the bottle to see if there are any indications. If I give this car a bit of a check, I can see that we are running at the optimum amount of coolant needed, and thus I don't need to add any more. However, if you are below the required amount, you will need to unscrew this cap and add some more. This is where the second thing comes into focus. Some companies of coolant pre-mix their coolant solutions. When adding coolant, you'll need to add a 50-50 mixture of coolant and water. However, if you do not read the bottle, you may end up using a mixture that's too lean or too rich, and this can damage the engine. So make sure before you add your coolant, you check the bottle first. So now that we're done with the engine bay, we can go ahead and close it. Simply push the bonnet up, put your stay hood back into position, and then drop the bonnet roughly 5 centimeters above its resting point, and boom. Bonnet safely secured. Now we're on to the best part of the video. We're going to be changing this tyre. First, you'll need to locate your tools. These will be found in the boot of your car underneath a layer of fabric. So first, what we need to do is remove the lug nut caps and then loosen the lug nuts. It is important that we do not remove the lug nuts, as it will make it virtually impossible to remove the wheel. Right, now that the lug nuts are loosened, we now need to put the jack stand into the jack position. The way we know where to put the jack stand is that most cars will have an indicator on where to put it. On this Volkswagen, it's this little dip here, as you can see. Now under the car, there is a point, a little groove, which tells me this is where the jack stand needs to go. If you don't know where it is, open your user's manual for the car. Right, so now that we have the jack stand up, we can go ahead and take the lug nuts off that wheel and replace it with this wheel. Right, so now that the tire is on, we can go ahead and lower the car. And once you've done that, you're done. Now, just remember that all Space Saver tires have a legal speed limit. This is usually 80 kilometers per hour. That's just to make sure that, you don't speed too fast on this tire, as you will remove it soon. And it's also made out of a thinner material, so it won't last as long as your standard road tire. But apart from that, that's it. You're completely done. Just lower the jack stand and you're good to go to drive away. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you now know what to do when you need a tire change, oil change, or coolant change. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment. I might make more videos like this, so just keep this channel in mind. Until then, I'll see you around next time.